And hello to our new viewers here, including Janine Warner, who's here to see the demo of what we're calling LocalCross, a AI-powered crossword puzzle that can be installed on a news site's local WordPress instance. It's going to be a WordPress plugin, and it'll allow you to push a button, review the clues and answers that AI generates, and then publish a puzzle that is based upon the content in your website. And you can choose the stories to generate clues from, and each one of the clues will have a link to the story. The intention of the crossword puzzle is that it both be a way of having something fun to do on the websites, something that generates more traffic, as we call it, recirculation. People will play the crossword puzzle, and if they're stumped on a clue or an answer, they can click through, read the stories on the website, thus driving more traffic to the stories. Give people who go to the website something to brag about when they go to social media, to brag to their friends, kind of the same thing that Words with Friends did, or these days Wordle does so well for the New York Times. And then finally, by integrating advertising on there, which is a work in progress, but which will be solved, will generate revenue both for the news organization that has this puzzle on their site, and also a slice of the revenue to us to maintain and update this puzzle as it gets adopted. So it works at least in 4 different ways. Take it away, Jacob. Tell us all about this.
All right, so I'm going to show you how to generate a puzzle, a few of the settings, and then we'll hand it over to show you how the game actually is played. So once you install the plugin, it's going to show up similar to how Posts and Pages shows up. It creates a custom post type called LocalCross. In order to generate a new game, the easiest way to do it is to use the generator. And from here, you can actually choose which articles you would like the puzzle to be based on. When you click on the generate crossword puzzle, it reaches out to ChatGPT. Now, we can customize this to use other LLMs besides ChatGPT. This is just the one that I've integrated the most, so it's very easy to do so. And so what's happening is it's actually requesting that it looks at each of the articles and then generates a number of puzzles in order to generate this crossword puzzle. And so we have the answers here, Capitol, Cunningham, Palisade, Gage Park. These are keywords that came right out of the article. So this is very localized. These are things that the local population would be much more familiar with, which is the goal. And the clues are related to these answers. Further, these link back to the articles, the specific articles that these clues came from. At this point, you can change the title, you can change the answers, you can change the clues, you can add additional words or delete words as you would like. Once you're happy with all of this, you just click the generate and save LocalCross puzzle, and that will take you into the puzzle article. At this point, the puzzle is live and ready to go.
And you can rename it up there. It says Topeka Tapestry from whatever to Peaches.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you wanted to rename it, you can absolutely do it at this point as well. So in terms of settings, at this point, they're fairly minimal. That's by design. The main thing that I want to point to is the number of crossword words that you're interested in having. You can adjust that at a settings level. So maybe you only want 5-word crossword puzzles. Totally fine. Regardless of how many articles you choose, it's going to choose answers from the articles for the number of words that you select here. Next, you can have words that you might want to exclude from the puzzles no matter what, and that you can maintain a comma separated list here. And finally, you can choose different languages. So if you want the puzzles to be based in Spanish, this is where all of that happens. Once the settings are saved, you'll see that all the navigation changes, the language conversion happens, but all the functionality remains the same.
Now, if the articles were in Spanish, the AI doesn't care if it's English or Spanish; it'll parse it equally and create
Absolutely
pull content out of there to be an answer, pull content out of there to be a clue. Right?
correct.
Got
Yep,
it.
that's absolutely correct.
And so when we do this, yeah, there you go. Let's see what else in this. All right, well let's show what this thing looks like.
All right, I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen, and you can take over.
All right, my turn.
Yep.
There you go, Ed.
Okay. Hi, Janine. How are you? Hope you're enjoying our impromptu technical demo here. So I'm gonna the baton is being passed to me. I'm going to show the game layer, or sort of the plugin. So don't be intimidated by the walls of text and code here. So basically, what once the puzzle's created and it is accessible in the website, it's embedded in the website as a WordPress plugin, then the game logic takes over and it's able to parse the data that Jake walked us through. So you can see here that this is the title screen, LocalCross, and tap to start. And now we've got a list of all the puzzles that Jake creates, that are created on the back end. So let's go to an example of like this one here.
Topeka
So again, this
Tango.
would be, yeah, Topeka Tango. So you can see that there's, a lot of already like game logic that's already working with regards to selection. You can scroll around. All of this data is generated, kind of on the fly from the puzzle data. So, and we have some, error handling logic. So this one, sticky companion to Topeka's summer heat wave. I think this is humidity. So we have like nice playful animations when it completes. So anyway, let me see if I could just sort of wrap this up. We also have some social media app banned. I think this one is Snapchat. We also, if you put in wrong words, it does that. It shows in red. But if you put this in,
It solves it, and then it gives you a nice little score there.
yeah, with nice animations and things like that. So we have a couple functions here that aren't hooked up yet, but are suggested, things like sharing via Facebook or via text. So, but you can just go and I can select another crossword, and let's select a completely different one. So maybe this one, Topeka Times. And you can see that the layout and the questions are different. We don't have the thing about humidity up here anymore. So Jake, you might know the answer to some of these questions. So maybe this one is Snap. Okay, yep, I know that one. So, but yeah, so that's kind of the, all of this stuff is, connected to the back end there. With all the JSON data, and it's populated dynamically. And we have kind of like a functioning game loop where you can play puzzles, it'll track your score, and then you can just repeat it. So as a proof of concept, the other thing, this is actually the most important thing, is if you're looking for a clue, you click the little hyperlink here, and then that will actually open the website where you can go and you can view and you can try to see like, oh, okay, so what's the actual, the word that we're trying to look for here. So this is the thing. This is kind of the thing that's going to drive the revenue, the improvement in the analytics. People are actually going to be viewing ads instead of just, not actually engaging with the website. So Nugget Scandal and Kansas school lunches. Okay. So I think that would be Nugget Scandal. So let's see, what would be the scandal? I don't know. Jake, do you know this story very well? Do you know what it might be?
Nope.
Fraud,
No.
waste, tax cuts. Well, you're getting to an interesting thing here, which is the levels of difficulty. Right now, it's just pulling a keyword out of the puzzle, out of the article, to be the answer, right?
Yep.
And then eventually what we can do is we can start making it more extrapolative, so that it's like the question is what appears in the picture, and it'd be, you know, what is the kid holding in the picture, and you'd have to look at the picture, and it'd be tray would be the answer. You can start getting more sophisticated with it, but that's going to be, you know, revisions in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
And right now, the way Ed is showing this is optimized for mobile because, as we all know, somewhere between 70 and 80% of the traffic now to news sites is off of the mobile deck. This will also work on desktop computers, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I can actually show it live, and if you don't mind me taking over, just so that you can see what this looks like here. So when you view the daily puzzle, it's going to show up just like anything else on your website. It'll give you a preview of what the clues are, and show you the structure of the game. And then when you click the button, it loads it right in browser. And so I'll show you from a mobile view what that ends up looking like. Let me just switch browser to mobile view. And so it does fill up the mobile screen as we would hope. You're able to play the game just like you would expect.
Yep.
So,
and then the other thing we can do, customize it, is for the installations right now, because you've got it running on your own Topeka website. That's why we've got green in the word Topeka back behind it.
Yeah.
But you can change that to whatever website you want and have whatever background, and we can customize and put wallpaper in there to do something thematic to somebody's website, right?
Absolutely, yeah. That's just an image I made in Figma, and it's uploaded to the game engine. That's one of the things that we want to do, is also be parsing images from the back end, but we could certainly set it up so that people using the CMS, using the dashboard, they could just upload an image there, and then we could pull the image back down into the game and then have that floating in the background.
Yeah.
So that would be a nice feature to add.
Yep. And then one concern that Janine had was about the clues. If you can go back to the screen where you're choosing the stories and the clues.
Sure.
There's the word exclusion list where you can say, okay, I don't want words like murder, violence, you know, shooting, whatever. You can put those in the word things. But also when you generate the puzzle, you get to see all the clues and you get to see all the answers.
Yeah.
And there's a little trash can next to each one of them where if you don't like it, you can trash it, or you can edit it or change it in whichever way you want, so that the clue could be a little bit more obscure or a little wordier or whatever, right?
That's right. Yeah. The idea is it gives you full editorial control over the puzzle generation. So we want to ride the line between ease of use and speed and full control. And so we're leveraging the LLM, the ChatGPT, in order to help streamline this process by having it choose words ahead of time. And then you've got the full editorial control to be able to make those adjustments as needed. And if you don't like mugshot, you literally just delete it, or you can edit it and replace it with something else.
So it's flexible. So it's not just, you know, an AI that could go off and be Hitler murder bot putting up really awful stuff on your website, completely automated with no human intervention. There has to be human intervention in this. But it's human intervention that basically a well-trained intern could do, right?
Bingo. That's exactly what we're after here. Yeah.
Yep. So it's not a fire and forget. It's a, hey, look, you have to maintain this thing, but it's something that you have human intervention so it doesn't completely spin off the rails.
Yeah.
And, you know, then with the social sharing in there, as many news organizations are finding, there's more and more Facebook traffic coming back to them because for whatever reason, Facebook's turned it back on. And being able to share your stuff via social media on Facebook or Insta is a increasing part of website traffic driving there. And then the source code links there, we can add a little UTM tracking code on there. So in the analytics, we can see how much traffic the puzzle is putting on the page now, the traffic increase will come with a UTM code that says, like, a puzzle or crossword or whatever else like that. So we can parse out how well is this game performing, along with, when people start sharing it socially, and hopefully it becomes a viral hit the way that Wordle does, that people come to the site and start playing this thing. And the more people play it, the more they start sharing it with their friends, the more it becomes something viral and a way for people to brag, like, hey, look, I know the news in Topeka better than anybody else because I read the, Topeka, now Topeka, or this is Topeka, excuse me. Okay. You can tell that I'm good at this. Anyway, so can you zoom in a little bit more, blow up your screen a little bit more so we can see those? Yeah, there you go. Okay, thanks, man. And yeah, this all looks good. Anything else we want to add to this here? No, that's it. All right, I'm going to shut down the recording. Thanks for paying attention, hun. I hope you like this.